Mazda CX-5 is quite a regular guest on our channel. Victor already tested it in the autumn and presented to you as facelifting. Well, it didn't have the new infotainment system, so we kind of get a lot of angry comments like, this is not a facelifting. But you do have to know it was, because facelifting at Mazda means something entirely different than facelifting at, for example, Audi or BMWs, when they change practically almost or even more than a half of the car. So the autumn facelift was more about comfort and a few minor changes. Well, while this one has a new infotainment system, which you already get to know in Mazda 3 or Mazda CX-30.
I think there's no point talking about the CX-5's exterior. When Mazda first unveiled the new model, I was quite taken with it, and nothing has changed. It really has lovely lines.
The system is very easy to operate, and it has all the basic features modern infotainment system needs, like digital radio, like Bluetooth connection, like satellite navigation, although I have to tell you that you will have to pay extra for navigation, so maybe you should ask yourself, do I really need it? Now, what I also like the most of this is that you operate through this rotating button and a few other keys. It's very smooth working, it's very easy to operate, and it's also very safe, much more than if you take the touchscreen system from any other competition.
Funnily enough, in these times, physical buttons should be applauded, as more and more manufacturers are trying to sell us capacitive ones, saying they're better, and they're not. Mazda knows fully well why they kept theirs. This very well-equipped model includes, amongst other things, digital instruments in the center, which shows you a bunch of info, even though it really should have more customization options, which it lacks. The car also sports a sport button. I have to thank Mazda for not feeding me PRBS, which would no doubt say how this button transforms the vehicle into a Formula 1, with which you will devour corners at 200 km per hour with a big smile on your face until you would arrive at your multi-million-dollar exotic seaside mansion and then go surfing. No, the sport mode simply lets the engine rev a bit more to get all the horses.
Now, the second novelty is electronic system for a side roads. Now, this system works up to 40 kilometers per hour, and it kind of simulates the reductor. That means it will help you if the wheels lose the grip, so it will be easier for you to climb a gravelly slope. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a road car, so if you find yourself off-road, you may be stuck there, so be careful. But what this car has, it's a AWD four-wheel drive, which means you will be excellent on a snowy conditions. We checked.
This off-road button will help you out if you want to slowly crawl over some small rocks, for example, but it won't perform miracles, so it's always better to be careful instead of getting stuck, possibly somewhere without reception. It is true, though, that the all-wheel drive system is very good on roads with adverse weather conditions. I will have to mention the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated petrol engine. In Europe, this dinosaur is a real rarity, and since we're so used to turbos and diesels, it feels quite sluggish and down on power, even though the better fuel here means the engine gets more power than the American version. The consumption isn't fantastic at 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers, However, considering the size of both the car and the engine, you could say it isn't that bad either. Mazda CX-5 starts at 26,800 euros. For one with all equipment and a lot of extras, as well as this 2.5-liter engine, you will pay just under 43,000 euros.